Hello, everybody, and I am very happy to bring to you another Member Spotlight interview. And today we have Lorna Shannon from Ireland, and she is a registered nurse, and she also has many other specialties. And today she's going to talk to us about rapid transformational therapy. So welcome, Lorna. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much, Stacey, for having me. It's an absolute pleasure.
Yes. So tell us, I know, I believe you also do cognitive behavioral therapy and emotional freedom tapping, and I think something else.
Yeah, NLP, neuro-linguistics programming.
Oh, you do all the good stuff, all the good stuff. So today, tell us, what is this rapid transformational therapy? It's relatively new, yeah?
It is rapid transformational therapy, or more commonly known now as RTT, is a unique, powerful therapy that basically encompasses NLP, neuro-linguistics programming, CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. It also incorporates hypnotherapy and psychotherapy. So you have the best of four of those worlds, and that's what gives you the results at a speed that is a lot quicker than anything else, and it's become very effective. But yeah, it's brand new and it's taken the world by storm apparently at the minute, so yeah.
Wow. Well, I personally haven't heard of it. I've heard of all the other things. So maybe you can break it down for us and explain. I think most people know what cognitive behavioral therapy is because it's been around for a long time. The emotional freedom tapping, some people know, and the NLP, neuro-language
linguistic programming.
Thank you. That one, I know about it, but every time I hear the abbreviation, I forget exactly what it is. So if you could explain that a little bit to us as well.
Well, basically, all those therapies take what you're thinking and reframe it. So if you have an issue, something from your past that's still living with you today, and you really want to move on from it, RTT, which encompasses all those other things, basically, in like a 90-minute session, can take you back to revisit scenes, not relive them as you might do in talking therapies, but you revisit them and you get to give them a different meaning and a different perception. So say you were bitten by a dog when you were a child, and as an adult, you had a fear of dogs, right? So what we basically do is get you to view that scene as if you're looking at it on a movie screen. And when you're looking at it through adult eyes, you can see it differently. You're not reliving it. You're not feeling the pain of the dog bite. You're just basically just seeing how it happened. And you're going, okay, that's what happened. I maybe triggered the dog in some way. And you become indifferent to dogs as opposed to absolutely hating them and fearing them. So you literally just take an issue and you flip it around, because you're not born with these issues. You're not born with fears or phobias or stress and anxiety. You're certainly not born with insomnia or weight issues. These things are all acquired or created as you go through life's journey. And anything acquired or created in RTT can be let go of. And it's let go of by simply just reframing how you look at these things. Yeah, hypnosis, you're literally, as you say, you're deeply relaxed, but you're in a heightened state of awareness and you're more receptive to suggestion. And say it's totally safe, it's drug free, you can exit at any time, and you're very much aware of everything that's going on. So it's totally, I think the fact that it's totally safe and you can basically open your eyes and you're back in the room, that's reassuring for a lot of people. You know, I would have found that.
All right, so let's say I'm one of your clients and I have a fear of heights, which I do. It's much better. I tried that desensitization where I just went and did it and hoped it would get better. Kind of did, but so let's say I came to you and I wanted to get over my fear of heights. Could you walk me through what a session might look like?
Yes, basically, well, first of all, I would have a telephone call with you to get a bit more information from you. And then I would send you a questionnaire for you to tell me what all you've done in the past and how you'd like your future to be, okay? Then in a session, we would take you back to 3 or 4 scenes under hypnosis where you would have had issues with height, okay? Something somewhere in your life triggered that for you to think like that, okay? So we'll get you just to review all those scenes, and then at the end of the session, and say every session's roughly 90 minutes, at the end of the session, 15 minutes before it, I would make a recording that you would listen to every night just before you fall asleep and first thing in the morning when you're waking up. And you listen to that for about at least 21 days, because it takes 21 days to permanently change a thought or a habit or a belief. And the reason we tell you to do it just before you fall asleep and whenever you're awakening is that's when you're most suggestible. That's when you're in the alpha state, when you're coming out of deep sleep. And it is a massive impact on you. So as I say, I find ideally you would listen to it for 21 days, but people listen to it 2 months, and I have people listen to my recordings years later because it gives them better reassurance. But within 21 days, that habit is going. And this about RTT is there's 3 ways you can get results. They are either immediate, as with a lady I had with migraines, literally she had migraines for decades, 1 session and they were gone. They can be accumulative, as basically with confidence and self-esteem or stress and anxiety. You'll basically find that you're given phenomenal coping skills. You can handle things, you think things differently. Or as I say, they can be retrospective, as it's like with fear of spiders. You could look back and one day you see a spider and you're indifferent. So say it's immediate, accumulative, or retrospective. Change somebody's thoughts, you can change their life. And because every behavior comes from a thought, right? And your thoughts influence your words, and your words influence your actions, and your actions influence your behaviors. So if your behaviors are good, that's brilliant. But if your behaviors that aren't so good, you have to sort of loop it back, take it to the original thought, and that's when you peel those layers back under hypnosis, and then you just sort of blow it out of the water, you know?
Yeah. So awareness is always the first step, right, of what your thought patterns are. And then once you become aware of them and understand that they may not be true, you get to change them, right?
Either way, it's always, you peel the layers back, you find it, and then you just look at it and go, yeah, I could climb that mountain. I can look down from it. I don't have vertigo, you know? Yeah, it's just a matter of just taking things that you take for granted and just going, I can flip that. And being indifferent. You don't have to love it, but you can be indifferent, because the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. In RTT words, it's indifference.
Right, which is similar to neutrality, right? So you don't feel one way or the other. No. You're just neutral. Yeah. Interesting. So you are also a registered nurse. So I'm wondering, because I also came from the health field, the medical field, and it's not always receptive to alternative types of therapies like this. So I'm curious to know, are you able to use this in your work as a registered nurse, or is this something you do on the side as a complementary type of modality?
I do it on the side, as I say, yeah, registered as a nurse, and registered as midwife and family planning nurse. But no, that my work hat is very different. It's all orthodox medicine. I do as I'm told, as I'm trained.
Right.
Outside of that, as I say, I do the RTT. And what's very interesting is I would have people come to me, basically, you know, consultant psychologists and doctors that who are basically outside Ireland, and there's ones in the UK, and there's a lot of international people would come, and they would find, say, the consultant psychologist and doctor, they had chronic insomnia for years and had 1 session of RTT, and now, as in my website, they have written glowing testimonials, they're sleeping all night. But what I find is, because RTT is such a new therapy, the people that come to me, it's generally a last resort, and that's lovely, because they've nothing to lose. They've tried everything else, you know. When you're going zero, you know their only way is up, and it works beautifully. So when you get people in the medical profession coming to you, because obviously, and they could, you know, get a prescription for themselves from somebody else, you know, there are people in the medical profession who are obviously looking outside and going to complementary, going to holistic, and it's working, because not one modality has all the answers. You know, orthodox medicine, absolutely brilliant, has its place. RTT with NLP, they can help some. Not everything can help everybody. And as long as you're aware of that and try it, yeah, you've nothing to lose, but you've everything to gain, because it's so simple. reframing how you think. Even if you learn how to, you know, look at a scene and go, if you start the day and go, I'm going to have a great day, and you will set yourself up. It's like what I would call early morning programming, you know, basically tell yourself what you want to do, plan your day, and it works out. Or if you're going to have a bad day, everything you see is going to make your bad day worse. So
absolutely. Yes, I'm a big
believer
believer in that too. I'm right on board with that. First thing in the morning and then in the evening, those are the times we really need to prime our brain for what we want it to be thinking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without it, it's easy as to say, you know, there's really 4 rules of the mind, and they're very, very simple, you know, and people would believe that stuff isn't available to them, or they're not enough, or they're rejected, or they can't fit in, and or they're just so different. And life's not like that. That's you thinking that, and that's society making you think that. And the problem is, if society makes you think like that, you're letting it in, you know. And if you don't let it in, if you sort of make yourself bulletproof against all this negativity, then you start and build your confidence and your self-esteem. And that's really what RTT does. It basically gets your confidence that you can take on whatever, you know. And yeah, life's good when you retrain yourself.
Absolutely. That's great. Wow. That sounds really powerful. You know, and I know I have a lot of people in the group that I know personally who have insomnia issues. So if I have anyone in the group who would like to reach out to you, do you do remote? Because obviously we're here in the States. So do you do sessions like this on Zoom?
Yes, I work, as I say, online all the time with a lot of international clients. I've had a lot in sort of South Africa and Australia and UK. Yeah, I do it online, and insomnia is one area that I particularly specialize in, because it's just such a lovely area. Whenever you scrape it all back and you find the root cause of why they had that in the first place, and I give them a beautiful relaxation recording and say, you just listen to it as you go to bed for that one. And yeah, they will find their nights are better, their days are better, they're more controlled, you know, they're less sort of easy triggered during the day, and their concentration is better. But yeah, works brilliantly for insomnia, and I've got the medical doctor to prove that, which is actually very nice. You know what I mean? It's nice for somebody from that world to go, wow, this works. They really do. And but yes, send them to me. It's just a one-off 90-minute session, so it'll not take up too much of their time, and they can do it from their room. Ideally, we can do it sort of like last thing at night, so literally they just do it and then they just go to bed, and then start of their 21-day process. But yeah, they can sleep.
That sounds great. And you know what I like too, and I found this myself being in the traditional healthcare field and then doing these alternative things like aromatherapy, and I did Indian head massage and alternative type stuff, right? But when you also have a medical background, it's nice when you can blend the two together, because you have that knowledge from the, you know, traditional medicine. And that way, you know, if people have certain conditions, you're familiar versus someone who doesn't have any particular medical training. Do you find that helpful?
It's massively helpful. Honestly, it just gives you such an edge, because you have an automatic insight. You have to don't go and Google what, you know, what they're coming up with. And the fact that you've actually lived it and worked it, you know what works, you know what doesn't, you know what advice lay people would have given, you know what advice other people, and it's good to give them the whole picture in that. And that is a hidden advantage that I have. I don't ever really advertise it. This is the first time I've actually admitted I do have nursing and midwifery background. But yeah, no, it's a beautiful advantage to have, and it pays dividends, you know, for the clients. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, so Lorna, if people want to reach you, they can reach you here in the group. You're in the group, so they can go ahead and direct message you. Do you have a website where they can find what it is you have to offer?
Yeah, it's called Resolve Hypnotherapy Online. Thank you, Stacey. It's been my pleasure.
Sure. Okay, Lorna, it's been great talking with you, and I look forward to the whole group hearing all about this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, have a great day.
Thank you. Likewise. Bye.
Bye-bye.